Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we've come to the end of our first Grand Slam of 2025, the Australian Open. And Bryce, one went sort of predictable, the other was like, what? Talk to me, brother. How was your Australian Open viewing? Yeah, how was it?
I tell you, the main thing for me was the being up all night trying to watch these matches,
Yeah,
and then being tired all during the day. I mean, it made me think about the Australian tennis fans
yeah.
because they're on the opposite end of this for the majority of the year. So we do this just every January, but they're on the other end all the rest of the year. And it must be tough to be a tennis fan,
I
in Australia.
Absolutely. I know they are loving when this type of a swing comes around. They're like, ooh, we
Mm,
got, normal hours, but yeah, the rest of the year get tight on
right.
them.
But as we're going to jump into all of this, I mean, like you said, there were some kind of predictable things here, but there were a lot that weren't.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and get in it. And let's, as we always do,
Yeah.
let's start with some of the other events that happened before the singles. And
Yes.
let's start with the mixed doubles.
Yes. Yes. We had an Aussie versus Aussie uh,
Mm-hmm.
final, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah, which was good for the country, for the home country. And
Yes.
John Pierce and Olivia Gadecki
Hmm.
uh, took the title. I wasn't familiar with Olivia before, but I
Right.
definitely knew John Pierce.
Yeah.
And they won in a third set match tiebreak against their countrymen, John Patrick Smith and Kimberly Burrell. That name always trips
Well,
me out.
and what's funny to me, Bryce, is they actually pronounce it Birrell, which
Ah,
I was like, why y'all gonna be messing up my girl Kim Burrell? See, if y'all don't know, Kim Burrell would be singing. Look it up if you don't know, folks. Look it up.
exactly. But that's all right. It helps make a distinction. So,
Yes,
there
yes.
you go.
So Kimberly Birrell is how they
Birrell.
or Birrell is how they pronounce it, and unfortunately, yeah, yeah, Piers and Gadecki were like, listen, we the Aussie mixed team, so don't even get it twisted.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was congratulations to them
Yes. Good
for, for
showing.
for pulling that off. We'll actually go to the men's doubles
Yes.
next.
Yes. Yes.
And there we had. Now, you know what? I'm starting to really like this team of Henry Patton and this Helio Vera.
Hello, Varia. Mm-hmm.
Vera. They've had a couple of major good results over the last year or so,
Yeah.
and they took out your boys. And I know you got to say their names.
Ah, Bolelli and Babasori.
Yeah.
My Italian brothers. Yeah, I was hoping for, a matchup with them against our guys, Aravello and Pavic in the
Right.
semifinals, but unfortunately, they hiccuped and ended up got taken out by a team that I actually hadn't even heard of. But then, of course, Bolelli and Babasori, they were like, okay, we gonna right the ship. Don't worry about that. And they did that in the semis and were like, okay, let's get it, because they were in the
Right.
finals last year, Bryce,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, okay, we made the final again. Let's take it one step further. And I'm
Right.
telling you, Bryce, what a final, man! They Heliovara and Patton, they were like, listen, we here too,
Right.
and
Right.
and we ain't gonna be stepped over. And for both of the teams to go 7-6 for both first and second sets,
Yeah.
in that first set tiebreaker, wasn't it like 18-16 or something
Yeah. I'm looking at the score.
ridiculous?
Yeah. 18-16. You're right. Uh huh.
Crazy. They were balling out. And so for
Right.
Bolelli and Babasori to take that first set, and then for Patton and Heliovara to be able to bounce back and take the second set tiebreak,
Mm-hmm.
both teams was like, listen, we here. We doing it.
Right. Right. No, that was a great final.
Yeah.
And congrats to Henry into Henry and Harry.
Henry and Harry. There you go.
Yeah.
That
Work
makes
it
it
out.
easier.
Yeah. Work it out and at the first major of the year. So
Yeah. And so, hey, they are now holding 2 of the 4 Grand Slams right now because they won Wimbledon last year. So,
yep.
hey, I tell you what, they might be trying to push for number 1. You
They
have to
should.
think.
And apparently, our guy Matthew Ebden
Yeah.
was kind of hurt.
Yeah.
And so I think that showed up in his match, and he didn't even attempt. I don't even think he even entered the mixed doubles.
Okay.
So we missed out on him, but we know he'll be back and he'll be strong. So that was good. So congratulations again to Harry and to Henry, and we'll look forward to great things from them for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But let's move now. Now we're going to really get down to the final 3 events here. And, I guess, kind of being a little, what's the word I want to use? What's the word I want to use for Taylor? Being a little
resilient?
Not resilient in terms of way, a little shady in terms of the way she approached this partnership with Siniakova.
Yeah.
I guess being a little shady sometimes is a good thing because she now has 2 major doubles titles against 2 other pretty good doubles players. Tell us about it. What happened in the women's doubles?
Man, I mean, first and foremost, basically, of course, you got Taylor Siniakova, and they're playing against, Ostapenko, this new pairing of Ostapenko and our girl, pop that collar, Shea Suway. And anytime Shea Suway is in a contest, she gonna be in that second week. You know this.
Right.
Because she is second week Shea Suway. That's what her name should be. Whoever she playing with. And I don't know what happened with her and Mertens, but I think it is a nice combination. We know what happened with Ostapenko and the other Kitchenov sister.
Yeah.
We saw in the championships, they was walking off the court at different times. It was all that drama. So we knew they weren't about to be partners in 2025. Right. But I did not think that Ostapenko and Shea Suway were going to get together. And look at that pairing. They made the first Grand Slam final of the year. But again, playing against Tay and Siniakova, they are proving to be the team to beat. Just simply put. Because both of those ladies, they bad. When it comes to doubles, they got feel, they got power, they got creativity, all of that. To me, I honestly feel like they could have a shot of getting the Grand Slam in 2025. Personally, because again, this is hard court. We already know Taylor's really good on clay. She actually really likes clay. I think both of them will work some things out on grass because they're the defending champions.
Yes.
And then, hey, they just won a hard court Grand Slam. Why can't they win the U.S. Open? Don't get it twisted. Yeah. They might be going after that Grand Slam this year. So the double squads better be on notice.
Right.
What are your thoughts, bro?
And something else about the U.S. Open. Well, we know that Siniakova has won it before with Krejcikova.
With Krejcikova, yep.
And we know that Taylor has been in the finals.
Correct.
So. In both doubles and mixed doubles.
Yep, that is right, man.
So it is absolutely within their range to take a good strike at that title.
That needs to be their goal, honestly. That needs to be their absolute goal because they can do it. I honestly believe they can do it.
Because who would you say is the number 2 women's doubles team?
Well, I do think it's Dabrowski and Ratliff. I think that the number 2 squad, you know what I mean? They got stolen by Shea Suway and Ostapenko, but I still feel like day in and day out, they're the better team. I just think they got stolen because they were like, ooh, we're not used to this combination just yet. But I would say them. I would, of course, always say Shea Suway and anybody that she plays with. But now that she's with Ostapenko, I would put them as the contenders as well. But honestly, I don't know that there are too many doubles squads that I would really put in that top tier. Those would be my 3, honestly. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of. Well, I think these young ladies kind of got stole on, and it was a surprise to me. But I will still put Paolini and Irani up in there as
Oh
well.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
can't forget the
For
Italians.
sure.
Can't forget them. Yeah,
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 for sure.
yeah.
So, congratulations to Siniakova and to
Thank you,
Taylor
man.
Townsend, and that brings us to the singles part of the tournament. So let's take a quick break before we talk those final results, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and look. We definitely talking about the men first. We
Oh,
got
yeah.
the
We can get
women.
that
Yeah,
out the way real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that. I watched the whole final. Yes, I did.
right.
But at the same time, was it the final that I really truly wanted to see? I know
No,
most of the times people are like, "Oh, it's 1-2. That's
no,
I was not at all
no.
looking forward to that final because in honestly, excuse me, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I know who's gonna win this one. And
Right.
what was so funny to me, and I have to kind of bust on the TC Live crew a little bit because I've been watching. We always watch TC Live every day, and
Mm-hmm.
they came on at 2 o'clock, and they were talking about who do we think is going to win the men's final. They
Mm-hmm.
started with Martina Navratilova, and she was like, I just have this feeling about Zverev, and I just think it's one of those destiny things, and blah blah blah. And then it went to Lindsay, and she's like, I'm not going against Martina, and so yeah, I'm going with Zverev as well. And then Steve, and then what's the 60 Minutes guy?
Oh,
Um,
John Wertheim.
John Wertheim. Then John Wertheim was like, yeah, sure. And then it went to Prakash, and I was kind of like, now Prakash gonna be right. And Prakash was like,
Mm.
I can't go against the GOAT. I can't go. I'm going with Zverev. And then at the end, Steve Weissman was like, I don't know what y'all doing, but yeah, I'm going with Sinner. And I was like, Steve Weissman, there you go.
You're
There
right,
you go.
right,
I was like,
right,
what y'all talking about destiny with Zverev? Zverev got no destiny.
right,
I need y'all to stop it.
right.
First and foremost, the boy didn't do nothing. I mean,
Mm.
listen. Oh, okay. Let me not clown. Let me not be that mean to him. But listen,
Right,
he didn't beat Alcaraz. Djokovic did it, and then he got a
right,
limp Djokovic, who only played one set and was like, "I'm out."
right.
He didn't have to beat anybody, and so when he
No,
got to Sinner, I was like, "You not tested." This show again. You still trying to get your Grand Slam. Sinner then got he ain't got a couple of them. He knows this.
right.
He ain't gonna be as afraid of the moment. I was like,
No,
why would y'all think that's what would you think that he's done that's so wonderful that would
right,
make him that this would be a destiny moment? And they was trying to
right,
compare it, and I'm not, we'll talk about the other stuff,
right,
but I was like, there's no comparison there.
right,
It's just not. It's not his destiny moment. He has not done anything for this to be his destiny moment.
right.
So
You
I'm
know,
sorry, Bryce. I'm sorry to go on that rant, but I was just really surprised by the TC Live crew. But then Steve Weisman said it right at the end. It was like, y'all smoking some crack.
right,
Y'all need
right.
to send it go in. What's your take, bro?
And sometimes you have to wonder because it is a business, right?
Right.
You have to wonder sometimes if they don't say things like that to encourage people to watch, because otherwise, I think everybody kind of felt like Sinner, Zverev, Sinner's gonna win. I don't need to stay up to 12:30 a.m. Pacific Coast time or 3:30 a.m. Eastern time to watch this.
Right.
But if Martina and Lindsay and Prakash and them all saying, there's really got a chance. Okay, well, maybe I'll check this out. This might be something to watch. It wasn't. But, it was one of those kind of things like I was in my bed. I had it on. I had kind of one eye open, the other one getting some good rest. And, just, I wasn't real focused.
Listen, and listen. I'll be honest with you and with the rest of the world who are listening to this episode. I did not stay up for that final. I have a DVR. and I DVR'd that thing. I got me a good night's rest. And when I woke up in the morning, I didn't check my social media or anything. I went right to the
Right.
TV and I turned that thing on and I watched it at that point because I wasn't going to lose no sleep over those two. I'm sorry. The
No.
women's final, oh, yes. We stayed up for that. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
But the men's final, there was absolutely, if Alcaraz were in that final, I would have stayed up.
Now, let me tell you, that is who I was mad at. And I'm glad Alcaraz said what he said in the post-match interview. And that was, I feel like he did not put the screws to Djokovic in that second set when he had the opportunity to, and he was kind of limp. And at first I was thinking, is this another one of these Djokovic kind of overplaying, the injury and the whole nine? And Alcaraz came out and said later, he said, you know what? That was my tragic mistake. Yep. He said, when I had him on the ropes, I didn't take
He didn't knock him out. He should have knocked him out because he had the opportunity. And that's the one thing that I'm concerned about a little bit, but I know that it will rectify itself. I still feel like Alcaraz is lacking that lockdown mode. I really feel like he is lacking that lockdown mode because had he gone into lockdown mode, I honestly feel like he would have been able to again, take that second set. And at that point, Djokovic would, I honestly feel like, similar to what he did in the Zverev match, mentally he would have been like, oh, do I have enough in the tank given I just had this energy to be able to come back and win 3 sets? I don't know about that. And I think he might have pulled the plug. But when he won that second set, all that adrenaline started kicking in and he was like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can do it. I've won this thing 10 times. I can do this. And it gave him, again, hope. And that would, like Alcaraz said, that was his mistake. He messed that up.
Right. And he caused Djokovic to get booed in the next round when he pulled out after that first set. See, that's Alcaraz's fault. That's
all on Alcaraz. But here's the thing. And not that I'm trying to defend any booing, because like I said, I don't really like that whole thing as well. But it was the way it went down because Djokovic was moving, he was playing. He played a really aggressive, great tiebreak. I think had this crowd seen him like take a medical timeout, get some type of treatment or something, I think they would have been in the mindset, oh, okay, he's hurt, blah, blah, blah. He didn't give anybody that opportunity because for me, watching that first set in the tiebreaker, I was like, yeah, he may be a little bit hobbled, but he looked fine. He running around, he doing this stuff. Yeah, he missed that volley to give him the set, but he's fine. So when he missed the volley, it just looked like it was just one of those cop out. It looked like it was a cop out. So I could get how a fan who must have paid some serious to watch that match to then be like, what the fuck? That's how we ended this? So I get that. Again, I'm not a booer. That's just not really my thing. But I get why he got booed, though. Because if I'm paying that type of money, you might get a little bit of a boo. You might.
Well, and I tell you what, it would have been very interesting to see what Djokovic would have done if he had won that tiebreaker.
Right.
That would have been very interesting.
Well, he even said it. He would have kept playing. He was like, he would have kept playing more games and seeing how the injury was feeling. And so again, that's why it was sort of like, and again, you go back to that Carlos match. If Carlos had won that second set, I honestly feel like Djokovic would have been like, ain't no way I'm coming back and winning the next 3 sets. I'm out.
Right.
Oh, well, lessons learned.
Yeah, and so with all of that happening, it basically just opened up the pathway for Sinner to come in and do his thing. You got Darren Cahill, he good skedaddling out of a camp when these whole drug things come up. I said it. So, I'm going to say, you got the number 1 player in the world, you just won, and you still leave him. So, feel like, what did George Michael say? Guilty feet ain't got no rhythm. Why you always running from these situations? Anyway.
That was good.
you know.
Oh boy,
But
George Michael. Yes, yes.
but anyway, shout out to
Sinner.
Sinner though. He's got 3 majors now. It's going to be very interesting, and let's keep it on the drugs. It's going to be very interesting to see what this appeal
Right, right.
says in April, because not that I'm leaning one way or the other, but he may not be able to even participate in Roland Garros and Wimbledon.
Right.
You
It's a
know,
possibility. I just don't think that they are gonna try and take out their moneymaker, because let's not forget he makes money for the sport of tennis and for the tour. So it'll be interesting to me if they actually then say, okay, yeah, you're going to be suspended for the next 6 months or the rest of the year or something like that. I just.
But I got a question. Does he? Is Senator one bringing in money for the ATP? Because
Well,
I would think it's Alcaraz. I would
yeah,
think it's Ben Shelton.
yeah.
I
Well, I mean,
don't.
the whole carrot thing and everything. He's got his little fan base. Now, it may not be you and I, but he's got a fan base. I mean, it's not Alcaraz level, it's not Ben Shelton level, but Sinner does. He got folk out there to like him. You got them folks to be dressing up like carrots and everything at the.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I know what you're saying though, and
I think he can sit down for a couple months if necessary. I'm sorry.
That's funny. Hey, we'll see. We will see. We will see.
We will see for sure. So shout out to Center. Look, whenever you can defend a major, that is one of probably the most difficult accomplishments in the sport of professional tennis.
Absolutely.
Behind winning one the first time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And classy move on his part, because at the end, of course, Sasha was feeling all emotional and everything. It took us back to the whole Nadal Federer thing when Federer was crying on Nadal's shoulder that went off. Open. And he was trying to give him some sympathy, like, yo, you got the talent. Everybody knows you're gonna win one of these eventually, blah blah blah, as long as I'm not playing in the tournament. But anyway,
you better try. You better hope they suspend me,
right?
If you want to get one.
But quietly, it's funny because once again, everybody was like, "Oh, Zverev, and he can do this," and I'm just like, I don't even really truly feel like this is his best surface. I actually think clay is his best surface.
Yeah.
So if he's going to have a breakthrough at a Grand Slam, I honestly feel like he would win Roland Garros before he would win any of the other three.
Right,
so again, everybody was, I don't know. I just didn't understand the energy. I was just like, y'all smoke some crack.
Now, in retrospect, Isaac, we look back at this men's draw, and there were a number of names that just, what's the guy from the next gen?
Fonseca.
We got to keep a good eye on him. We really didn't get to see Pesci Paracourt do his thing because of Monfils. Right. Shout out to Monfils for putting himself back in the mix. That's everybody, right. I'm talking to people that don't even really watch tennis, and they ask me about Lerner 10. They're like, what's up with him?
Yeah, what's up with this little lefty from Irvine?
Right, exactly.
From the home state.
Exactly. So, I mean, Shelton's continuing, to get deep, and and honestly, question marks around Medvedev still remain.
Yeah, I'm honestly getting a bit concerned, to be very honest with you, Bryce. I because he's just always been that tacticianer, that guy that just knows how to figure things out and figures out how to win. And hard court is his jam, or at least it used to be. Right. For him to be, to get stolen, and again, Lerner Tien was like, I'm gonna play your game against you, and I'm gonna beat you at it. I'm going to be smarter than you. And I just wouldn't have expected a teenager to be able to outsmart Daniil Medvedev on a hard court at a Grand Slam. 5 sets. Right. Kudos to that young man. I am very intrigued to see what Lerner Tien can do, just going forward. Again, I feel like he will have a ceiling only because he's not the biggest of guys. I
Right.
feel more so like someone like a Mickelson has more
Mm-hmm.
of a ceiling, a higher ceiling, because he is a big guy and has more
Right.
things that he can bring to the table, more weaponry. But at the same time, Lernertian has that leftiness, so we will see what he can do with that, because he definitely came out the gate swinging. I tell you that.
He sure did. And I like his smarts, and that'll get, honestly, that might get him further than the size. Um, we'll see. And he's young; he's 19, so we have no idea what his game is eventually going to look like.
Exactly.
I just hope that this wasn't a flash in the pan, and like you said, that we get to see some more decent results from him later in the year.
Agree. Absolutely agree, brother.
All right. So
Yeah.
let's get it to these women. And let me start off because Madison Keys, people all BOT community always want to put some focus on me with Madison Keys. And let me tell you what, I don't hate the woman. I really, really don't. All I know is she has had her entire career some insane God-given talent and ability for this game. And she's always let, people put the Jedi mind trick on her, or, something else stop her from reaching her goal. This is the first tournament of her entire career that I have ever seen that she has been the Madison Keys of the Madison Keys we've said she could be. Because I want to remind people one thing. When you see somebody win a major tournament, we've seen all kinds of things happen. And I was one of the first people to say, when Emma Raducanu won her tournament, won the U.S. Open, Leylah Fernandez beat all the names. She beat Leylah because Leylah was tired at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I give Emma her props for winning, but she really didn't take out the threats.
Right.
Leylah did.
Right.
In this tournament, you have to look at Madison Keys. She took out Danielle Collins, who ain't no joke, right?
Come on.
She took out Rybakina, who is one of the big four, if we call that on the women's side, right?
Yes, we do.
She took out Svitolina, who ain't never an easy win for anybody. She took out Iga, another member of the big four on the women's side, and who is the kind of default number one person. And then she took out the actual number one, two-time defending member of the big four crew in the finals. When I tell you that woman earned that championship, there was no better way she could have done
it. There's so much that I could say. I could talk to y'all for about 2 hours as it relates to Madison Keys right now. I'm not going to do that. I don't want y'all turning off. But Bryce, it's exactly what you said. It's the Madison Keys that we've seen over the years as it relates to the talent and the ability.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the Madison Keys that also brought.
Yep.
She brought the heart and she brought the mind.
Yep.
Y'all, that run was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And again, like you said, she beat, Danielle Collins, she beat Svitolina, she beat Rybakina. The thing that for me is the defining moment of Madison Keys' career is when she beat Iga Swiatek.
Iga, yeah.
That to me was the match. That's when I was like, excuse my French, holy shit, she about to win this tournament. I literally, when she beat Iga, I was like, Madison Keys is going to win. I was literally going to text that to you, but I was like, no, I'm going to leave Bryce alone. And we're going to see how this thing, but when and it's how she beat Iga. Because she lost the first set. Right. 7-5. She lost the first set, y'all. And Iga is the one typical, and she came out blazing, just playing really great tennis. And Iga was like, wait a minute now. Now don't get it twisted. Let me get the ship right. Got it right. Took that first set, and at that point, I was like, ooh, it's about to get ugly.
Right.
Well, apparently Madison knew where Iga stashed the bakery keys. Because she was like, let me go and get these keys and let's open this joint up. and I'm gonna
Right.
give you this breadstick. I was like, who gives Iga a
Right.
breadstick? Much less
Right.
Madison Keys. Are you kidding
Right.
me?
Mm-hmm.
She takes the second set. Third set, it just seemed like Iga again reestablished herself, and she
Mm-hmm.
was ahead. She was ahead. Madison would fight back. She was ahead, fight back, ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Iga was ahead that entire third
Tie break.
set.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And even in the tiebreak, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's get before the tiebreak because remember, Iga, and I'm pretty sure this is how it went. Iga broke Madison
She did.
for 6-5 and was
Five and
serving
serve.
for it.
Yes.
And Madison was like, hold up, chick. We not done. We
Right.
not done. And
Right.
came back and broke her to get to the tiebreak. And then again, Iga always had that little
Right.
break. Always had the break. 4-2, 5-3, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Until it got to 8-all.
Yeah.
And then Madison. And again, Bryce, this what I'm talking about. That's
Right.
not the Madison that would have shown up before.
Right.
And the fact that she went for her shots
Yep.
and she took it. She didn't say, it wasn't like she was like, no, I'm just gonna wait for you to make an error. No, she was like, I'm gonna step up and I'm
Right.
about to take this from you.
Mm-hmm.
And when she did that, I was like, this chick right here ain't trying to play.
Right.
Bryce,
Right.
I was blown away. I did not think Madison Keys had the mental fortitude to be able to stay in a match like that and then be able to dig it out and take it from Iga Swiatek. At that point, I was like, this is crazy. Go ahead, Bryce.
Right, because in the past, she hasn't been able to do that. I mean, there was nothing that would lead you to believe that she would do that. Now, I want to throw something else in the mix of what you said, and everything that you said is completely true. I also got to give a little side eye to Iga. Yeah. Because Iga being, kind of the dominant player, the one who's been number one for so long and has been in these championship moments. I mean, she had her opportunity. Heck, she even had a match point,
Yes.
Yes, so not taking anything away from Madison in terms of how she stepped up, but Iga also did not step on the neck.
Right.
She had an opportunity to close that match out, and she did not do that either. So, like we were saying in the mid-fortnight show, whether it's the new racket, it's the new string, it's the new hubby as the new coach, and whatever all the changes are, that Madison Keys that we saw for the last 2 weeks, that woman could win a whole bunch of tournaments this year.
Bryce, let me just be really clear. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen because I don't, and y'all don't be coming at me. Don't come at me. But I'm going to tell you what, if there is anybody that has an opportunity to win the Grand Slam this year, Madison could do it. And if she brings that Madison Keys to each of these Grand Slams, do not get it twisted, y'all. Madison is good on clay. In fact, I actually am calling her the favorite at this point for Wimbledon because she has always had a great game on grass. It's it's always been the mental. She hasn't been able to she had, to me, the perfect game for grass. She hits big, she hits flat, it penetrates the court, a great serve. I'm calling her right now. She is the favorite for me at Wimbledon. If she goes in healthy and if she's able to maintain this Madison Keys up to that point, she will be my pick for Wimbledon. And again, she just won the first hard court of the season. Why can't she win the U.S. Open?
Yeah. Well, she's been to the finals.
And she's been to the final.
Yeah.
Bryce, a lot of things really and truly opened up for Madison Keys. And it's so funny because they did an interview with her and they were just talking to her. And it was like it's so funny. And again, this is just how, when you let go of something, it's so amazing, and how things then just come back to you and flood you. Because and she let us in because, again, apparently, and I didn't really even realize this. I should have realized it, but I didn't. Madison's been told since like the age of 14, 15 that she should be a Grand Slam champion. And remember, she even played that one match a super long time ago against Serena Williams, and Serena, I think, won the match, but she told her, she was like, "You gonna be number one. one of these
Right.
days. I mean, Serena gave her the highest of high compliment. So when you have someone that has all of that weight on them, that I'm supposed to be a great
Right.
champion, I'm supposed to be winning Grand Slam, and you're not doing it, that's a heavy
Right.
burden. And I feel as, and not feel, but what she basically said is, I finally got to a point where I was like, you know what? Even if I don't win one of these, I'm still going to be extremely happy with my playing career, and I know that
Mm-hmm.
I am a good, you know, a good player. You know, I'll
Right.
be satisfied with what I've done.
Right.
And with that being done, and she went to a psychologist, not a sports
Mm-hmm.
psychologist, a full-on psychologist to work
Right.
all that out. She gets
Mm-hmm.
married, she happy. Like I said, 2025 just might be the year of Madison Keys. Don't slip, y'all.
Right. And you know what? And let's talk about some other people that showed up because welcome back, Paula Badosa.
Right? Didn't expect Paula Badosa to slap around Coco. I was just like, oh.
Right.
She took Coco
Exactly.
and was like, she was like, anybody scared of your revamp forehand and your serve? Did you know I had back issues? She's like, little girl, please. She's like, this is my second time around. Hey. It's like, you
Yeah.
better watch. That was the one that shocked me, Bryce, because I was just like, when Paula got up on Coco, I was like, ooh. And like I
Right.
said, she played I think her and Sabalenka just, unfortunately,
Right.
their friendship, and she just doesn't match up well against Sabalenka, because Sab
Right.
has just that edge, more power, a bit
Mhm.
more precision on everything. And so,
Right.
unfortunately, she just ran into her friend who just happens to have her number. But Paula
Yeah.
Badosa is looking good, and don't be surprised if she don't end up in the top 10, or at the end of the year at the championships.
Right. And let's continue. We already mentioned the resurgence of Guillaume Monfils. That Jim's life was looking good in Australia. I mean, Svitolina's like, I ain't going nowhere.
Come on, talk about it. Svitolina
You
showed
know?
up and showed out, did she?
Yeah. I mean, I did not expect for her to take out, Paolini, which she did. And of course, she then lost the keys. And then Emma Navarro is showing that she's still a force to be reckoned with,
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot to be excited about in 2025 on the women's tour.
Absolutely. I'm going to be very curious to see how Paolini rebounds, because she's the one
Mm-hmm.
I'm most concerned about. Because
Right.
she had that outstanding 2024. She's reached major finals.
Mm-hmm.
I've always she pocket size. So I'm just wondering, are some of these players that we're talking about, are they going to supplant her in
Yeah.
in that top 8? She's vulnerable, and
Yeah.
I really,
Yeah.
because again, when you're talking about Madison Keys, you're talking about Svitolina, you're talking about Paula Badosa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I like Paolini's matchup against those three, and unfortunately, if those three are playing where they need to, they're gonna push her down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw in a Muhova, who again, just
Right.
she's playing well as well. I mean, yes, she lost to
Mm-hmm.
Naomi, and we got Naomi in there. I mean, boy, women's tennis about to be off the chain
Yes.
this year,
Yes.
bro. Oh my goodness.
And Paolini may have to make one of those Coco decisions too about doubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how seriously does she want to take the singles run?
That's right. That's right. Because it takes a lot out of you. And if you already, having to battle, hard
Mm-hmm.
with these
Right.
ladies, it ain't helping you that you then have to go run off to the doubles court and compete there as well.
Right.
I don't know.
So let me ask you, because I didn't look it up before we started recording.
Yeah.
What is Madison's ranking going to jump to?
7. So she's going to be. We have 4 women in the top 10.
Wonderful.
And Danielle just barely fell out, so we could have had 5. But yeah, Coco, of course, is leading the way at number 3. You've got Pegula at 6, Madison at 7, and I think Navarro is at 9.
Okay, and Pegula can focus back on her game now since the Bills are now out. So, oh, I'm sorry, I need to bring that up.
That's too soon. That's too soon.
Too soon. Okay. Well, if she was distracted at all,
She won't be no more.
She won't be
Yeah.
no more. No,
Oh, they 4-0 in the playoffs, bro. That's just against KC. KC, like, listen, you can have wins against us all during the regular season. We don't even care. That postseason come, you better know where you sit.
We're not even worried about trying to beat you by no double-digit score. We just go ahead and kick this field goal toward the end.
That's all we need, because that's all we need. Why we need to do too much? Oh.
save our strength for the Super Bowl.
See? Oh, good Lord.
But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take us off into a whole nother sport, but that's what
good.
Jessica Pegula does for us, man. She brings in football with the tennis,
Yes, she does. But man, kudos the fact that again we have 4 ladies in the top 10. We got we only have 2 for the men, which is of course Fritz and Tommy Paul is now in there.
Right.
Ben would have been in there had he beaten Center, but in the semifinals. And shout out to Ben Shelton. We didn't really talk about him at all, but shout out to Ben for making it to the semis. Again, I still feel like he's in this kind of, I'm trying to, make my game diverse and blah, 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 which I think honestly is a good thing because I feel like it's going to do him a lot of good in the long run. Because it's funny, I was talking to somebody and they were just kind of like, well, Ben don't seem like he, doing anything or making any. I was like, listen, you have to realize this is Ben's 3rd Australian Open. I said just 3 years ago, that boy didn't even have a passport, hadn't even been out of the country. I said, Ben is doing just fine. I said, leave that boy alone. He all right. He gonna continue to grow and build that game. And again, I feel like Ben is somebody who's trying to get that A game, B game, C game, so that when he gets to the court, he's going to know which style he needs to play or change to in order to beat his opponent. I can't be mad at that. So let the boy get some seasoning. Give him a couple more years, and I honestly feel like Ben will then be competing for Grand Slams. I honestly do. I really truly do.
And you know what? And what's very evident is he is very polarizing. I mean, you have people that love Ben Shelton, and you have people that hate Ben Shelton, and they want to key in on his antics and all that. And I was like, y'all open your mouth when John McEnroe was out there acting a fool. But he out there trying to pump himself up in a collegiate style.
Exactly.
And we can't stand that. we can't tolerate that, Jeez, man.
And I gotta put this out there, and because I love his team, and I'm just gonna be real honest with you. And only, of course, you and I can say something like this. But I love how his team looks. I call Ben white chocolate. I call Daddy milk chocolate. I call the other guy regular chocolate, and then you got some dark chocolate in there. I love the spectrum of blackness in his team. It is awesome to me. So yes, Ben, you all right with me? I don't care.
I love Ben, and like I said, we've had an opportunity to meet him. It was a nice young gentleman.
He is a very nice young man. Exactly. I just feel like again, he is from the collegiate tennis. They fight. They're vocal. They pump themselves up. He brought that to the tour. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Wrong with that. Right. Again, if he crosses the line, of course, call that out. But nothing that he's done, in my opinion, has really crossed the line. So why hate? Why y'all hate?
Right, exactly. I mean, Daniel Collins crossed the line more than he did during his tournament, right?
Yeah, that was cringeworthy right there. I was like, Danielle, baby girl, please don't do that. So and they let her know it when she came out in that next match and I know everybody was like, oh, this isn't the right for Aussie crowds and blah blah blah. But I was like, all right, you hang with Coco Vandeweghe, come on now.
Well,
because Coco, when she was doing all that stuff, she's pumping her up and everything. I was like, no, you shouldn't be encouraging her to do that because she gonna feel it in the next round. I could see if she was getting on a plane leaving.
Right. But and then the whole kissing,
and you still got another match to play. Them Aussie fans was like, okay, all right,
we got you.
we got you. So, and like I said, y'all, we have met Danielle Collins as well, and she is a wonderful, wonderful young lady. Super cool. So again, I'm calling that a one-off. Danielle, don't do that. Come on.
Yeah, she like telling the fans, "Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my Ultimo bills? If not, maybe we can chill." I mean, I'm trying to tell you, she was like, "Hate all you want. Y'all contributing to the Danielle Collins Fund."
Yes, and it's the truth.
You know?
But yeah, you know, it's like you don't need to let nobody know that though.
That was awesome, man. That was awesome. I was loving it.
Yes. So, with that said, who else did we not talk about? I think we covered just about all of the folk, right?
Yeah. You know, it was a good tournament to get the year started, get some good storylines going. Look here, I'm gonna put a hot take out there.
Come on.
And I've said it before, but I didn't, I ain't double down on it because I wasn't real sure. But I'm gonna double down on it now. Okay. I don't think Djokovic is gonna get 25.
I will reserve that comment until after Wimbledon, because I do feel like he has an opportunity to win either Roland Garros or Wimbledon. If he does not get it done on those two, he's done. He's absolutely done, because I don't think he can make it another year around the sun. I do not think he will win the US Open whatsoever. I just feel like Sinner's there. You got Alcaraz, you guys. I just feel like their games will be at a level by September. He ain't gonna be able to play with that. He needs to win either Roland Garros or Wimbledon. He really, truly needs to win Wimbledon.
Yeah. And you know what? And I'm thinking Carlos is starting to feel like Wimbledon is his.
Correct.
And so I don't think he will skirt Djokovic there. And here's the other thing you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
When you get in that age range where Djokovic is, and these injuries stop. Now, granted, before Djokovic had this whole reputation of, I can get injured. I ain't got to have no stomach muscles or whatever, and I can, I can still win.
Right.
Not at 37, 38.
Not at 37, 38.
No.
We saw it happen to Federer. It happened to Nadal. When you pick up these injuries, your body does not allow you to get back to that 100% mark where you used to be. And again, that is what Father Time is all about. So it's going to be interesting to see how he recovers from this injury, because it's happened before. So for it to be also a recurring injury.
Yeah.
Like I said, I am definitely not disagreeing with you. I'm just holding my until after Wimbledon. Because again, if he does not win Roland Garros or Wimbledon, I think he need to go on ahead and call it and just be like, I'm out, y'all. I'm out.
Right. And what did you think? Was there anything revelatory about Andy Murray coaching Djokovic?
No. In truth, like I said, I know this was all everybody's. Oh my goodness, Andy Murray's and Djokovic's. Andy Murray ain't bringing nothing to the table as it relates to Novak Djokovic's game. And don't get me wrong, I like Andy. I like Andy a lot. I love Andy as a player. Love him just as a general person. But from a coaching standpoint, that was just all. No. I don't. There was pretty much all hype. And they even asked him about it. They was like, "So is Andy gonna be with you?" And they was like, we're gonna discuss that. So I was just like, y'all ain't serious. Y'all ain't serious. So
and then since we're talking coaches, Ivanisevic was like, I'm not gonna be a part of all this messiness.
You heard what I said. I was like, run, Goran, run. The minute listen, he was a better man than me, because the fact that she put on social media that her old coach was rejoining the team. And as her current coach, I had to learn about that through social media and not coming out of your mouth. At that moment, I would have been like, sis, peace. You're not going. I'm Goran Ivanisevic. I have a Grand Slam. I done coached Novak Djokovic to multiple Grand Slams. And you're gonna sit here and play these little games with me? Sis, I'm out. I ain't got time for you. So again, he's a better man than me, because I'd have walked out right there and I'd have been like, deuces.
Right.
The United Cup, there wouldn't have been no Australian Open. I'd have been like, I'm out.
Yeah. Right.
So that was poor form on Rabatova's part.
So plenty to follow there on that particular story.
Yeah.
So in summary, my friend, is there anything from this 2025 Australian Open you want to put a cap on?
Yeah, no, man. I mean, it just, like I said, it was just the whole Madison Keys thing was just that to me is the story of the tournament. And I'm going to be honest with you. I there was a moment there where a little tear did run for her. I was just like, good for you for finally making that happen. So yeah, this was her storyline. This was her tournament, and that was good. That was good. What about you, my friend?
And for all you haters out there, I was actually rooting for Keys in the finals. So put your knives away. You don't need them for me.
It's okay, exactly.
Maybe Keys will unblock us now. You know, I don't know. It'd be one of those things. So,
oh man. Hey, all good,
anyway,
man.
It's all good. So, well, everyone, thank you for following us through this 2-week major, the first one of 2025. We're very excited. We have already received our media credentials for Indian Wells, and that's always a big thing for us. So we will be looking forward to seeing all of you there and doing the type of coverage that we typically do, and we're really looking forward to it. So if there's nothing else, on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, be well out there.